Swopes. I am from Chicago, Illinois. I'm a graphic designer and a photographer. I love the city and I love everything about architecture and the fast pace, cool, fun vibes. There's always something going on, With my photos, you'll notice, I'll add a waterfall where it's not supposed to be, or I'll throw a giraffe, in the middle of an intersection. As much as I do love the urban landscape, I think that's just natural to kind of dream of something bigger.
My name's David. I'm from Zurich in Switzerland. I do photography, mostly nature photography in Switzerland. I'm really curious to see how my style works built in a big city like Chicago. I've seen Swopes work on Instagram many times so far. Having someone here who lives since a few years or even grew up in Chicago showing me around, that's the best thing that could happen. I'm excited to get out and shoot the trains because I'm not used to see those silver hovering trains in the middle of Chicago, because we don't have that in Zurich.
In Chicago, the concept is that you kind of break the rules and then ask for forgiveness later.
Yeah, you can get arrested here. Yeah, you shouldn't even be up there.
I never really did urban photography. I used to just go around Zurich and see what it brings, what we could do. But city photography itself is completely new for me. The construction worker was like, "Yo, you're not allowed to be here." That was quite interesting, because when I'm out shooting, there's no one saying to me that it's not allowed to be here or don't climb anything. I love symmetry, so I try to get the symmetry shots here in the city, which isn't that possible in mountains. It is possible, but it's different.
Showing David around Chicago was a fun experience for me. And I really love just seeing people's faces when, they're not normally surrounded by a lot of buildings and the congestion of city life.
The city has so many different parts, with the river floating through and the whole lake looking like an endless mirror of water. That's just insane to see, and all those high buildings we don't have here in Switzerland. I always had an interest for every kind of photography, and I'm not saying I only shoot nature. Nature is just my private favorite thing I do. I'm often late because I see something which I'm going to look how it looks like, or I want to take pictures of it.
I'm excited to see David in his element. I think for him coming to Chicago, it was pretty intense. Just our experiences with people kind of telling us not to shoot and all that. With my work, I'm always throwing in more nature. What I realized while shooting a lot of the mountains is that I don't want to alter it as much as I would with the city stuff. I think it kind of speaks for itself. The clouds, the fog, the water, the trees, that stuff that I would normally put in the city is already there. Zurich is, and outside of Zurich, there's just a beauty factor.
Swopes told me she's never been in the mountains before, or never those kind of Alps. It's always interesting because of the weather or the season, the snow, the mood with the clouds and the fog. It's always completely different. We went out early in the morning. We didn't have a golden hour, but the clouds and the fog was pretty low, so the movement was insane.
You can't help but get a little inspired by everything that you see here, especially with me not having experience with being in a lot of mountainous areas. It was just such a huge contrast.
When we were in Chicago, we grabbed a hot chocolate, which was very good.
It was so good.
And we walked outside of the door, and I remember seeing Swopes looking up and taking a picture. And I came out and I looked up and it just looked dope, like two buildings connected to each other. That inspired me a lot to look up.
It's definitely going to be interesting when we compare shots in the end.
Yeah.
To see, you know,
Same
how,
spot, same lens,
Yeah.
same camera.
Yeah, and that's,
How did you and how did I take it?
yeah, exactly. Everyone has a different outcome with their shots.
All the time.
Even if you're shooting in the same spot, you know.
I'm definitely coming back in summer.
Yeah, summertime is. I might come back here for the summer too. Take a dip in the water.
Yeah.
True that.
True that.